Hey, you're home again! Look at this! I brought Saturn games this time!
Well, hey there, and welcome back to Jeremy Rewinds. Today, we're going over part 6 of 6. Yeah.
Press start, let the adventures unfold. Retro games and...
What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Jeremy Rewinds. It's your man, it's your guy, it's me! And my brother, let me tell you, I wanted to show you guys a couple examples here. This is how well he bubble wrapped everything. And in the last video, I told you guys about how some stuff had gotten damaged. That box, I'm confident, dropped. 100%. Because everything else was not in bad shape. Every other box was fine. But this is literally how he wrapped things up. You have bubble wrap here. Look at this. It unwraps and unwraps. And then there's more bubble wrap here. I mean, and it was taped. And look, that unwraps, and that unwraps. And here's this. Ooh, I'm glad I saw this. I need this for the bottom of my Sega Model 1. And this screws on. It's screwed on? Weird. I didn't know it did that. Anyways, remember I showed you guys, it has this little thing, it just clicks right there. Anyways, I need this port. Maybe I don't need this. Maybe I do need this. Either way, I'm going to keep this because it's not going to stay with the console. That's going to go adios because I do not want a Model 2. I already have a Model 1 and I have a Model 3. Technically, I own a Model 2 now, but I only want them in the box. And my Model 1 and Model 2 boxes are beautiful conditions. And this doesn't have a box. The Sega CD did not have a box. Sega 32X did not have a box. But I'm keeping the Sega CD, as I said, because I don't have a Sega CD. Anyways, but I wanted to show you guys that because that's why I'm convinced that the brown man dropped the box. That's that. Here's another example. This is the Sega Saturn, okay? Let's show you. Look at this. Look at all the bubble wrap. I ship things all the time, and I don't even bubble wrap stuff that well. Look at that. And here is, woo, the Sega Saturn. She's recording. This Sega Saturn, I am pretty sure is not in as good a shape as my Sega Saturn is. It could be in better shape. I guess I'd have to look at it. But if it is in better shape, then I'll obviously upgrade. But I don't think so. I think mine is, mine's in pretty darn good shape. On the back of this thing here, there is this little port cover. And you can see right here, there's a little watch battery. Those batteries are always dead. Just buy a new CR2032 battery. It might cost you $2, $3, $4 for one of those little batteries. Probably $5 a battery. And usually you can't buy just one. They usually try to tell you, you got to buy 12 of them for $68. Buy the battery, you'll be happy. Because you won't have to have that dumb screen that always pulls up. Like on my GameCube right now, that screen is always pulling up. So I don't know if I got to tear into the GameCube or if I need to just pop it open like I can on the back of this thing. That said, the Sega Saturn, I think, is 64 bits, if I'm not mistaken. But I do know that it did not sell super well here in the United States. I think too many people at that point were falling in love with their Sony PlayStation games. This is actually a pretty healthy lot of games, and I do have a fairly decent selection of games up there. I'm going to say I have probably about 30 games in my Sega Saturn collection, and if all these were ones I didn't have, I would add probably another, what is this, 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, about 25 games, roughly more. It would be awesome to double my collection, but I do know that some of these I already have in my collection. The first one we're going to start with that I know I already have is a game that I love playing. A lot of people hate this thing. Let's hop back over to this camera here. Is it still recording? Yes. We have ourselves Street Fighter. Why do people hate this game? I don't know. I mean, I get it. It's based on the movie, and maybe you didn't like the movie. It is by Capcom because it is a Street Fighter game. I like it. It's got all the characters. It's got, what's his name? Oh my gosh, I can't think of his name right now. Anyways, the main character that plays Guile, Van Damme, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and what's his name that was going through cancer at the time. Oh my gosh, I can't think of his name right now, but he played on Addams Family. He was Bison. Anyways, super good movie in my opinion. I really do like it. I think you will either like it or you don't like it, and it's the same thing with this game. But I already have this game, and this is disc only. And again, as I told you, on disc only. It's Speaking of disc-only games, we're going to move into the next one here. Very happy to have this to play it, but this is Nights into Dreams. See if you can see it better over here. This is Nights into Dreams for the Sega Saturn. I do not have this game, but again, it is disc-only. I'm going to look and see if somebody has a Sega Saturn case, even if it's just the artwork in the menu, because I've got cases. That way I could complete it, but it depends on the price. Now, I've also considered just flipping this thing off because I really would like to get the big box that came with the controller, and because it was a 3D controller, if you remember. If you don't, it comes with a 3D controller, big round circle thing with little controller handles, and but it usually goes between, depends on if people are sleeping or not, $150 to $250, somewhere in that neighborhood. Probably $200 on average to $250 realistically, if you're looking for a clean copy. So I don't know if the controller is necessary to play the game. Probably not, but then again, maybe. I guess we'll find out. Another one talking about moving into Nights into Dreams. I got this, which I will be keeping because this is obviously complete. This is just a Nights into Dreams sampler disc. So I don't know how this plays, how this works, but I'm excited to test it out nevertheless. And our last disc only that I'm on the fence about what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to look and see what's out there. This is called Shanghai Triple Threat. And it is, again, a disc only game. And as I keep preaching, I don't do disc only. So I have a stack right now of 3 disc only games that I'm going to probably say adios to. Something that I already know I have. And again, a beautiful box that I will be pilfering for my own collection. Again, this is what you do. You just take and you replace and you upgrade. And it is Blackfire. Blackfire is one I already have in my collection. This actually might be the one I keep though, because mine, I know I took and upgraded the case to a new case. This feels like a new case. I mean, it is nice and smooth. You know, you look at the side of the thing right here, you can see definitely sun faded there. But here's the back of the box. It's in good shape. I'm very happy with this. This would be one that I'm either going to upgrade my copy to, or I'm going to pilfer this and put it in a trashier box. And this might be the one that it goes into, because which could be something like this. This is called Crusader No Remorse. This particular one is a non-stop action, serious attitude. When I first saw this particular game, tell me that doesn't look like somebody from Star Wars, right? It looks like Boba Fett almost, with the design and the helmet. It says, if you don't have a bad attitude, as a silencer, one of the elite enforcers of the world's economic consortiums, you're supposed to be incorruptible. But if the system you serve is utterly corrupt, where does that leave you? It's an isometric, definitely kind of game. You can see right here, if you can see that or not. It's an isometric, kind of like top 3/4 view. But I'm excited to play it because I've seen it many times online and I just never got around to getting it. Talk about another one that I'm going to have to find some upgrades to. This one is complete. The back of the box is cracked, and if you can't tell from the side that I already showed you, it is D. Now, what the crickets is D, I couldn't tell you, but that's literally the name of the game. It's D. I was looking at these cases, and I don't know what Sega was doing, but this is an actual insert for this thing. I thought this was some cheap, you know, version that somebody had just thrown in here, like they were like, you know, some video game store, and they went to Amazon and they bought some cheap Chinese junk from Temu and they shipped it over and they threw it in there going, oh look, I got a nice insert for you. And nope, that's literally how it is, because all the copies that are on eBay have that same exact trash insert. Woo, tell you I don't like it. But one thing I did notice that I don't know if he noticed, the guy that owned this, he had this front piece slipped in behind the little tabs where the owner's manual is supposed to go. So I'm going to show you on this one here, for example, these little tabs that are at the top up here. Like there's a little nub right there, a little nub right there. That's where the manual slides into. Right in front of that are these little tiny holes like you would have like for the CD, how it clicks in. That's where that's supposed to click into. Now maybe he didn't know that, maybe he didn't care, because this thing doesn't want to stay perfectly in here, and that could be for a couple reasons. It could be the nubs are kind of worn out, it could just be the design of the case, and it also could be because this plastic front is not in great shape. However, I did notice on all the rest of these, they all have that same little hole. So that means I can replace this entire case easily without fear of being like, well, this is like one of those special dual case kind of things. Not the case. Haha, I like that, not the case. So anyways, everything's here. Artwork's here on the back. Both discs are here, all the inserts. But what's not here that I have to do something about, obviously, is el manual. And finding the manual on this on eBay right now is not very easy. So hopefully I'll come across one somewhere because I really don't want to spend $70, $80 to replace this and then sell this off to somebody for $50, $60. I would rather find somebody that has the manual for $10 or $15, $20 and then have mine CIB, because that's why I don't like disc-only stuff. Moving on from there, one I know I have a copy of, and I think there was 2 copies actually in here if I'm not mistaken. There are 2 copies in here. But again, I'm pretty sure I already have this in my collection. Tomb Raider. Can't really tell. There it is right there. It says right here, Tomb Raider on the side. This case is definitely seen better days. Most of these cases do this. You see right there? Those ends are broken. These cases are very notorious for being fragile. And this one is no exception. But again, I already have a copy of Tomb Raider for the Sega Saturn. This one will go off to another person. And as I said, there's another copy in his collection we'll get to in a little bit. But that one is CIB and in better shape. Moving on from there, we have a case that needs to get replaced. I can already feel right here in the front. This is Center Ring Boxing, a game I do not have for the collection. Wow, look at those graphics. That is yuck. Oh, wow, yuck. But it has the foam, and there's the game. So it needs a new case. No big deal. Easy to the peasy. Speaking of a game that I know I also don't have in my collection, Mortal Kombat 2 for the Sega Saturn, a new level of combat. And whoo, look at that. Got the insert foam. Everything is in here. This is another one that has one of those garbage like inserts, and I'm going to do some research to make sure that was what actually came with this game. If it's what came with the game, it's what came with the game. If it's not, adios muchacho, because I have new ones in the closet. But this one is exciting to have for the collection. Mortal Kombat 2, my favorite of all the Mortal Kombat games. Another one that I think was an exclusive, could have been, Crystal Dynamics, I believe, is one of those games. Developers, I think, is a good developer that people talk about. I think so. Or maybe I'm getting it confused with another one. I can't think of the name of the other one right now off the top of my head. I think it starts with a C as well. But anyways, Pandemonium. Another one I know I don't have in my collection. At least I don't think so. Yeah, I don't see it up there. Anyways, Pandemonium always looked of interest to me because it has like this gesture on the front of it. And the ultimate fast-paced 3D character action game. Some of these games did not age very well when you think about what they are and how games are today. Just the clunkiness of controls and such. It's amazing how we've gotten as far as we have. But that'll be one that keeps in the collection. Another one that will be in the collection, Madden NFL 97. I'm not actively seeking, obviously, sports games to fill because you can pick those up anytime, anywhere, usually for a decent price. At some point, this was only $1.99. Probably still only worth $1.99. Another one I know I have in my collection that will be going adios is Daytona USA. This copy is not as clean as mine. There's everything on the inside right there. It is in good shape. It's just the box is scuffed up. But the problem with this is it doesn't have a lot of value. So it'll be paired with the console when it goes away. It'll be a good starter collection for somebody that's interested. Another one that I'm pretty sure that I picked up just recently, and I'd have to look. But if not, I'd have to look. But this is Astala. It's a pretty decently priced game. I think it's about a $100 game. Maybe a little more, a little less. We'll just say it's $100. Here's your foam. I am excited to have this in my collection. And the case is in good shape. Manual and everything seems to be in decent shape. I mean, there's definitely some scuffing to it, but I'm not expecting it to be minty. I'm not looking for minty stuff. I'm not looking for stuff to grade. Moving on, another one I don't have, Super Street Fighter 2 Puzzle Fighter, I think it is. Or, yeah, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Good old Capcom game right there. And I remember having this, or one, I think it was this exact same one on the PlayStation, which is why I think this came out around the PlayStation era, and it just couldn't compete. But anyways, that's a fun game I know I've played before. I'm gonna excited to add this. This one cracks me up. This is by US Gold, and it's called Shell Shock. Okay, and it says justice is just that. A raging graffiti-covered future is upon us, and you've just joined a ragtag group of highly trained commandos committed to combating terror and corruption worldwide. You're gonna do it with the help of a fully armored, state-of-the-art M13 Predator battle tank. And you can't really see what I'm looking at through this case because of the glare, so I'm gonna pull this manual out because you have to see the front of this thing and how hilarious. Oh my gosh, come out. And you have to see how hilarious this is. Hilarious to me. These guys that are on the front of this thing. Like, there's graffiti all over this building in the back. There's a tank. You know, these dudes. I mean, let's face it. It looks like something out of Grand Theft Auto. And at the end of the barrel, I don't know if you can see that, it says, keeping the peace. Keeping the peace. I don't know who approved this cover. But this cover alone is mind-blowing to me. I mean, this dude standing on top of the tank, so like, right? And then I stutter as I look at this thing. Hysterical is how it is. Absolutely hysterical funny. But it is a game I was actually looking at picking up on Mercari at one time, and I didn't, just because I was like, I'll wait. I'm glad I did, because now I got it in the collection here. Speaking of a game that we already went over once, and this one is in good shape, Tomb Raider. We already talked about it. This one has the manual to it. There's the disc. The case isn't in horrible shape, but it's definitely something that I know that my cases are in better shape. So this will stay with this, and adios it goes. I'm going to save the best one for last. Don't get mad. But I do know where to go. It is unfortunate. So this is what I don't know also happened. This is why I say this. You see this? Cracked. Just completely annihilated. The good news is, at least if nothing else, the case is not in great shape. Anyways, it's dirty, it's gross, and more importantly, I already have this game, so it's going to go to somebody else. I would rather have a nicer case for it because it will bring more money. If I don't replace the case, I won't get as much money. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm sure there's a case in the closet because I keep all the other ones that I upgrade from, just in case that's a better shape than so on and so forth. But one that I'm also disappointed in is the sequel to Bug 1 is Bugs 2. The back is in good shape. The front was in good shape, but as you can see, it got annihilated as well. And again, all of these were just... I'm just convinced that the box dropped. I'm convinced somebody dropped it. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and file our claim, see what USPS, I'll tell you guys eventually down the road what comes of it. But Bugs 2 will stay in the collection in a different case. Bugs 1 will go on to somebody else. Another one I already have in my collection is Panzer Dragoon, because if you have a Sega Saturn, you have to have Panzer Dragoon. And Panzer Dragoon is one of those games that has been re-released. It even has the foam on new consoles. And you can see its age, but you can also see that it is a fun game nevertheless. I had a hard time getting into it. Like I say, it is a fun game, don't get me wrong, but I just couldn't wrap my arms around it too much. The next one we have here is by Mirage Studios, called Resurrection Rise 2. This, I feel, must be and is one of those fighting games because there's a lot of characters on the back down here. So it's probably like a Eternal Champion, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat kind of game. We'll pop this open, see what's on the inside here. If I can get the bottom open. Oh my gosh. There it goes. Yeah, everything's good. There's your inside. Look, there's an advertisement for D. Moving down to our last two games in this collection, everybody. Next one, we have Battle Arena Toshiden Remix. I have no idea the value of this game. I feel like this is a decently priced game. I could be way off. But either way, it needs a new case because it's really scuffed. There's a crack in the corner here. and the back is really gross. So it'll get an upgraded case as well. And the one I was most excited about in this collection that is in a very good looking case, I definitely will probably still upgrade this case to a brand new minty, not even a scuff on it case. Sonic R. Sonic R is one of those games that is like, oh, look at me, I've got Sonic R. Yeah, and it has a little foam in it as well. Disc is in good shape. The manual's got a little bit of a wrinkle to it, I can see, but otherwise, I'm excited to have Sonic R in my collection. I've never played Sonic R, except I think I did eons ago on some emulator of some kind that somebody, or maybe it was when I didn't have any problems with emulators, but now I do. Anyways, the racing game with an attitude. Sonic's favorite to race as or against, plus hidden characters. So anyways, I'm excited. I'm excited. So that's my Sega Saturn collection. Now, the only thing that we didn't go over in any of these pickup videos were the peripherals. How many peripherals? I really don't know. I got to tear through the rest of these boxes. I got so many boxes. These 5 boxes were loaded with padding. And like I said, you guys saw at the beginning of this thing, all of this is literally how my brother packaged everything. So again, I am confident. I know these Sega Saturn cases are fragile, but the reality is they all of them were not actually clicked into their spot. So somebody dropped it. Even if it was a subtle drop, it dropped. And when you think about all the padding that he did to the consoles, and all the games were wrapped up the exact same way, I think my brother and his wife did just a phenomenal job on packaging this stuff and helping me with this. So again, Nathan and Grace, thank you so much. And we're going to see what UPS does. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely go back and watch all the other ones. And tell me down below on the videos which one you thought was the best pickup. Which one do you think this was silly of me to go this route? Because I spent $3,000 to buy almost just shy of $6,000 worth of games. Was it worth it? Again, there's time and work in this that's going to happen to resell these things off. But I know my starting number is $3,000. How do I back down from there, and does it get to a $0? That's my goal. Can I get to a $0 so I can make Sonic R free? So I can make Bushido Blade free? So I can make any of these heavy hitters, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the Dreamcast, free? So I can add a whole master system from the Sega console with those 6 games for free? How much can I get down to 0? It's going to require time and energy and effort, of course, but that's the next goal. And we'll do, I won't do a video on it, but I will add it into one of my future videos, and we'll go forward from there. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely subscribe, please. Help me get this channel up there. My wife has been doing YouTube for crafting stuff. If you know Kristen, it's KS Creations, or her channel is actually, I think, called... I don't remember the exact name of it off the top of my head. I'll put it in the description down below for you. But she's got like 2,000 subscribers in like 6 months. I've got like 200 subscribers in like 2 years. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stick around. We'll see you guys next time right here on Jeremy Rewinds. And have a good day.
Press start, let the adventures unfold. Retro games.